Hello. So the next line in Rudyard Kipling's "If" I'm actually going to do four, like the last video. Can't really chop them up too much and not have a continuous discussion. I just kind of you just leave it halfway in the middle and it just doesn't work. So the next four lines are: if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew, serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. So that's actually one of my favorite rhymes, sinew. Sinew. I don't know. Like the poetry of the music itself is actually better than that than the others. Perhaps because it's a four-line thing that I actually am noticing the rhythm and the rhyming. But as far as the meaning behind that is concerned, that I would hazard a guess to say that if you can force your heart, your nerve, and your sinew, um, serve your tongue long after they're gone means that if you can summon up every bit of strength from every fiber of your being to do what you want to do, even if your forces aren't that strong, or you might be getting old, or you're already tired, or you're sick, or you're injured. Um, this is essentially using the willpower within you to conquer your bodily weaknesses, to overcome those bodily weaknesses. And so, I mean, in this case, I would imagine running. It's best to deal with this in examples. So this is a physical thing, but obviously a lot of this is willpower. So this could be not very physical. Weakness is both physical and mental, and sometimes they're tied together. So imagine running. I'm not a big running fan. I do run because it's good for me. Um, I suppose it's a habit that I don't hate it as much as I did when I first started. Actually, it's okay. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So imagine running. I know it's hard for a lot of people. When I first started running, I was a bit overweight. I guess I still am a little bit, according to BMI, but I don't really buy too much into that. But there is a little bit of chub there. Um, and at first, it's really about. So I'll tell you. When I first started, I was living in England, and the city that I was living in had a few hills in it. So imagine like when you're first starting out, you want it to be as flat as a pancake, but that wasn't really an option. So I ran down the hill, which is really easy. Anybody can do that. It can be a little bit hard for the impact because you're sort of can't control your the incline or the decline. Um, Up the hill, going up, it really taxes you, especially if you're not used to learning how to breathe. Your heart's not used to pumping as much. You might start to taste a little bit of blood, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm just like, oh, it smells and tastes like blood. I don't know. Maybe it's something going on. It doesn't do that anymore. So I think it has to do with the fact that I was really out of shape. So anyway, uh, I found a way. Once I get down the hill, I had to go up a pretty steep hill that even cars had trouble climbing because most cars in England are uh, manual cars. That is to say that you have to shift the gears manually. If you're in the wrong gear, if you're too high of a gear, it's hard to go up. If you're in too low of a gear, the engine's working really hard to get not that much more effort. So you have to be in the right gear to go up. And this is true with people. So you're running up the hill and you're like, okay, I can't make this up. Now, the thing is that there's a psychological trick that I'm sure that I didn't invent it as in I'm the first one to do it, but I invented it for myself, is that I used landmarks. I found ways of tricking myself, especially, you know, let's say like this. It's not maybe not tricking because I know I'm actually doing it, but I found a way. Let's say, for example, when I get to the bottom of the hill, I go up and I see the thing at the absolute top of the hill. There's a tree right at the top. So I say, okay, if I can make it to this driveway, then that's good. That's good enough. And then when I get to the driveway, well, it's not that much more to get to the lamppost. I go there. Oh, well, this traffic light here is not that much more. The traffic light, well, there's the tree, right? So I might as well keep going. And then I can continue, or I can rest, or at least pause and catch my breath. So the thing is that I set a goal, extended it, I gave myself something easy to do, and by the time I'm there, like I'm already there, I might as well just finish it and sort of have the benefit of, hey, I did it. So you're fooling yourself, but you're also pushing yourself. So in this sense, you're using your mind to overcome the fact that your body is struggling, or your mind doesn't like your body struggling. And if you know that you can overcome that, the struggle isn't actually as hard. So, in the sense of forcing your heart, your nerve, your sinew, is like, what is all that strength, all that muscle, all those sinews are like little tendons and, uh, ligaments and things like that. Things in chickens that you don't want to eat. What is that? What are the muscle, the strength, and the ability for? It's like one of my favorite Bruce Springsteen songs, Rosalita, where he says, "Use it, Rosie. That's what it's there for." Right? You have all the muscle and the ability to walk and climb a hill. You have all these abilities and gifts that you need to get the job done. So why else do you have them other than to use them? They're not especially decorative. I mean, in some people they are, but mostly they're there to be used. And the thing is, so you use them, it hurts a little, uh, but it's worth it, because once you get to that tree at the top of the hill, you think, yeah. And you look down the hill. I did that. I had to fool myself. I had to trick myself, but at the same time, got the job done. Whatever I need to do to get the job done. It's about building habits that are finding out who you are, tricking yourself. You have to think of yourself as somebody who, there's you, the rational you, and there's you, the body you. And you, the rational you, has to find a way to motivate the body, either by fooling it. I don't know if you've ever been in a gym class, not like PE, but like at a gym where they're doing like spin class or some sort of aerobics class where they'll tell you, okay, 5 more, but it always ends up being like 15 more. They're tricking you. They're making you think that the end, the end line is closer than it actually is. But say, okay, 5 more. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm definitely stopping at this. And then they get you to do 15 when you thought you were only going to do 5. Now, the thing is that you have to do that to yourself, which is hard because you intellectually know that finish line is not going to be where it is. But you have to give yourself a little bit of encouragement. Okay, so here in Philadelphia, I run around near with all the stadiums, the football stadium, the baseball stadium, hockey / basketball stadium, are all in the same area. And there are hardly any cars around like this time, like I would say like in the middle of the day, except for like on the weekend. But if you run around, let's say 11 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to be any baseball games. They're not going to be any people driving around there. Maybe some people who work there are setting up for the game tonight or cleaning up from the game last night. But in the whole business is that you have to realize that, okay, I can run here. I don't have to stop. So I'm not tempted to run around here. So I can run up to where the Phillies play. I just call it Phillies. It's Citizens Bank Park. I run down past the fish processing plant. There's like tons of warehouses around here. I go down past the marijuana dispensary, the medical marijuana dispensary. I go all the way down to Front Street. Okay, I can do that. Go up. So you set goals for yourself. And you've done it in the past. So unless, it's a particularly hot day, raining and miserable, but if it's just a normal day like today, this is what I'm going to do. Also, finding a way to trick yourself into doing something. It's just taking away like the thinking about things. I put on music that I'm more of a heavy metal guy, but I also listen to hard rock. So AC/DC is the best. Absolutely. They're not my favorite band, but they're amazing to run to because it's just And that's kind of the pace I run at. Um, I would say that the Judas Priest is all really good. Most like I would say a lot of Iron Maiden. Jackson's really good too. But you have to find things. Yeah, this would be really good too. This is the pace I want to run at. Fun to listen to, and it gets me over the finish line. So you basically are finding a way to trick yourself, and then you have to think about it. You basically it's a really gratifying thing to know afterwards that you wanted to quit. You wanted to stop all the way back at the driveway, and even this is small potatoes compared to what a lot of like professional runners do, or really like big time runners do. But um, in a sense that it is easier to do, you have to worry about yourself. So you find out what you can do, what you want to do, and find a way to bridge that gap. I would say don't go overboard. Don't run a marathon on your first day of running, but if it's reasonably uh, possible for you to do something, you just don't want to do it, then find a way to trick yourself. So the second part of this is, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. So, despite all the pain, the discomfort, the pressure you're feeling, the weakness, this might not be a purely physical task. This might be a lot of, maintaining who you are despite pressure. I don't know. You can find a way of dealing with this in the same way that you might deal with a physical task. It's like in the same way that you might feel your body sort of quitting on you or getting tired, but you can eke out a little bit more. There's something true with relationships that you can endure, or a job. Okay, all I have to do is get to this point, and then maybe I can go forward. If you're still in school, hey, just mark that on the calendar, count down, until the last day of school. Find a way to make it more tolerable, because ultimately, it really is about the mind, the will that says keep holding on, keep going. There's a lot of like inspirational messages. I'm always a little bit I always roll my eyes a little bit when especially these are very like, I would say almost like military expressions or tough guy expressions, or very uh, sort of weightlifting, the gym bros or whatever. Nothing against them personally, but sometimes their expressions are a bit corny. Um, but the thing is, you see them sometimes on T-shirts saying "mind quits long before the body does." That is often true. The body rarely quits on you while you still want to continue. It's that your mind is ordering your body to continue, and then when it gives the body permission to quit, the body just stops instantly. Obviously, there's a connection between I want to move my leg forward, therefore I will move it forward. Once that will starts to fade a little bit, then you're kind of giving yourself permission to stop. And you don't really want to do that. The mind is such a weird thing to fight with itself like that. Especially, and the body's just like, hey, I don't really want to do this. If you're ordering me to do it, I will do it until I can't. And I actually can't. I go sprain my knee or break my leg or something like serious. But if it's just I'm tired, I can break through. Just don't go overboard. Don't push yourself too hard. So I think it is about developing the skill to have your will to say, hold on, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just till we get the lamppost, just get to the tree. And then finally, when you actually know there's the finish line, boom. So you're tricking yourself, you're pushing yourself, not unreasonably so. I don't know if this is true. I see a lot of people fighting about this, but I do believe that the will is a muscle that gets bigger. If you are a disciplined person, you might have started off as a little turd who just quit on everything. But if you work on your discipline and your willpower, you can really go places. I mean, you can really push yourself forward in a way that just wasn't possible at the beginning. And then once you know that you can push yourself forward in running or or anything physical, you can start to say, hey, I started off, I couldn't make it up that hill. Suddenly I'm running marathons. I'm not running marathons. But, the idea is that it's good to look back on the past at the beginning and say, oh, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even make it down the hill, let alone up the hill. And here I am. I'm actually in a race. I actually have been in a race. And I looked at the time and said, that can't be right. That's way faster than I did in just running around. So sometimes the crowd encourages you. You can get better times because, you look like a kind of a wimp if you quit. And there's hundreds of people that are watching you quit. So that's another motivation. So I think, that this willpower is something that you need to develop. You need to understand what motivates you. Sometimes it's fear of being, embarrassed. Sometimes it's more about when you're dangling the accomplishment in front of it. You could say, okay, we're going to run this. You break, if you get through and you don't stop, we'll have a beer afterward, after we take a shower or before, right? You have to kind of give yourself a reward or threaten a punishment with yourself, but you have to follow through on it. And this willpower is mostly like a bit of knowledge that your body can really handle the stress of whatever you're doing. Your body just doesn't want to do it. I guess in a roundabout sense, it wants to preserve whatever energy it has in case it needs to do something. This might be sort of an evolutionary psychology thing, but we don't have to worry too much about running away from, lions and stuff anymore. Some people do, but it's not really a big problem. Right, so that's that. Do another video soon, and we're almost done. Hold on. We have just one more stanza to go. All right, see you.